a very warm welcome to SportsLumo's special series 50 Greatest Olympic Moments for India. I am Siddharth Vishwanathan, Editor-in-Chief of SportsLumo, and I am bringing to you 50 Greatest Olympic Moments for India in the Olympics. Folks, hockey has had a very rich legacy in India. They won gold medals in 1928, 1932, 1936. After the break of the Second World War, India won in 1948, 1952, 1956 before their winning run was finally halted by Pakistan. But in 1964, India regained lost glory. But as the 60s progressed and even the 70s progressed, Indian hockey was sliding downward. In 1968 and 1972, India secured the bronze medal, but their fortunes touched rock bottom in 1976 when they failed to win a medal for the first time in their history. Now, Indian hockey was suffering from lack of confidence and lack of experience. Heading into the 1980 Moscow Olympics, many gave India no chance. But a couple of factors swayed India's fortunes around. In this episode of 50 Greatest Olympic Moments for India, I focus upon the last gold that India hockey won in the 1980 Moscow Olympics. It needed inspiration from some of the greats. It needed a bit of fortune. But in the end, Indian hockey had one last moment of glory before 40 years of immense pain. In this episode, I will be talking about India's preparation and journey in the 1980 Moscow Olympics. Folks, in 1980, Indian hockey was at the crossroads. As I mentioned in the introduction, they were suffering from lack of confidence and lack of experience. The lack of confidence came because they had performed so terribly in 1976 Montreal. Inexperience was also there because there were only a very few players who had international experience. Bir Bahadur Chetri, Mervyn Fernandez, Vasudevan Bhaskaran, Zafar Iqbal were the only guys who had some form of international experience. There was one more player making giant strides in hockey at that time. He was a youngster, but he already possessed the qualities of a magician, a la Dhyan or Leslie Claudius. I am talking about Mohommed Shahid. Yes, the same Mohommed Shahid whom I had focused in episode 49 of our special Greatest Olympic series. Prior to that, the Indian hockey team needed some form of motivation. Vasudevan Bhaskaran arranged for three very special people to motivate and tell the Indian team that nothing was impossible. One was Field Marshal Sam Manekshaw, who is considered one of India's greatest armymen and who is still a source of pride even today. The two other people had won gold medals and they were also selectors in the Indian hockey team at one point in time. Leslie Claudius and Munirswamy Rajgopal. Leslie Claudius and Udham Singh were the two players in the Guinness Book of World Records to have featured in 4 Olympics and won gold in 3. One was a silver in 1960. But still, something was not clicking. When India headed to the preparatory tour in Malaysia and New Zealand, they lost to New Zealand and they drew against Malaysia. The team composition, the team dynamics suggested that something was amiss. But come 1980 Moscow, a series of fortuitous events happened, which saw India having the luck of a draw in the better way. Folks, the 1980 Moscow Olympics was played in the backdrop of intense international tension. The Soviet Union had invaded Afghanistan in 1979, and thus America and many of the Western nations boycotted the the Soviet Olympics in 1980. Thus, what started as a 12-nation tournament now just had very few teams left. India was placed in a group with Cuba, Tanzania, Poland. India annihilated Tanzania 18-0 in that first game. But somehow, inexplicably, they managed to draw against Poland. And that was when the team needed to gear up. Sure, they had gotten off to a winning start, but problems were still galore. They got that confidence back when they defeated Cuba 13-0. But now they were placed in a semi-final against the mighty Soviet Union. In front of a packed and partisan crowd, the Indian hockey team had to really keep their heads cool. The Soviet Union were gunning for glory in their own home turf. But in a sensational display, India managed to beat the Soviet Union and they got through to the final. But it was not going to be easy. There too, folks. Spain were the European champions in hockey at that point in time, Spain were a huge and talented opponent, and their talent was simply marvelous in the 80s. Spain's hockey team now were the only obstacles in India securing a historic gold medal. India made a great start, going 2-0 up. But Spain managed to equalize 2-2. Then came the magic of Mohommed Shahid. His brilliance in the midfield as well as in the forward rank gave India that initiative. He launched an attack and Spain were left clueless. His goals in the final helped India win the contest 4-2. And after 16 years, Indian hockey had finally climbed back to the summit. The 4-2 win against Spain was also possible because India's goalkeeper took so many blows on the body. He put the body on the line, folks. And that is why India managed to win the hockey gold in 1980 for the first time after 16 years. Sadly, that would be the last time India would win gold or any form of medal at that point in time. India hockey's decline started from that point onwards in Moscow. In 1984, 1988, 1992, 1996, 2000, 2004, India hockey did not win a single medal. In 2008, India touched rock bottom when they failed to qualify for the Beijing Olympics. In 2012, they failed, but in 2016, India finally managed to reach the quarterfinals. Although they got beaten by Belgium, they had put up a good show in Rio 2016. In 2020, there are more hopes from India as they look to regain their lost hockey glory back. But 1980 is special because that would be the last gold that India would win for the next 4 decades. That is all in this special episode of 50 greatest Olympic moments in India's history, folks. I will be back with more interesting anecdotes in the coming days. Press the subscribe button, tap the bell icon, like, comment and share, folks. We are reaching the end of the Olympics and we will soon bring out more such interesting anecdotes of India's 50 greatest Olympic moments in their 93-year glorious history. Thank you. Stay safe.